Assalamu alaikum. My name is Samira Qureshi, and I stand here representing the Sisterhood of Salam, Shalom. And standing right next to me today and tomorrow is my dear friend Fern Finkel. She's on the board of the Sisterhood of Salam, Shalom, and some of you may recognize her as she's been a pivotal force in Jewish-Muslim relations here in Chicago.
Shalom alaikum. By my side, also both physically and figuratively, today and forever, is my dear friend Samira Qureshi. Samira is the regional coordinator of the Chicago region. Her Jewish co-coordinator, Kathy Bender, could not make it today because she had a previous commitment. Together, Samira and Kathy support the 10 local chapters and the hundreds of Sisterhood community members.
So the Sisterhood of Salam Shalom is an interfaith organization of both Muslim and Jewish women who stand together in solidarity against Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, and all forms of hate by building relationships with each other. As sisters, we nurture our connections, and today, more than ever, we really need to dig down into those relationships.
We are a sisterhood that is based on empathy and the establishment of a peaceful future for all. We build trust and respect when we put ourselves in somebody else's shoes. For our relationships to be authentic, we see and hear our sisters' narratives through our hearts and with love. Together, side by side, we will read the statement from the Sisterhood of Salam Shalom that was released on May 11th, 2021.
In response to increasing acts of injustice and violence in Jerusalem, the Sisterhood of Salam Shalom stands behind our commitment to inspire Jewish and Muslim women and teen girls to support and promote nonviolent means of achieving peace and human and civil rights for all Palestinians and Israelis. We condemn the actions of the Israeli police in attempting to forcibly prevent religious worship and attacking Palestinian worshipers at a religious site, and instigating violence in the East Jerusalem neighborhoods of Sheikh Jarrah and Silwan. We condemn the brutality against Palestinian and Israeli protesters, which left more than 600 civilians injured, and the resulting increase in violence targeting innocent civilians. While we applaud the decision to delay a high court ruling to evict Palestinian residents from their homes, the Sisterhood of Salam Shalom calls on the Israeli government to stop falling victim to extremist groups who are fueling the aggressive police actions and the unjust and prejudicial actions targeting Palestinians, and to end its systemic racism against and repression of the Palestinian people.
We grieve the violent response on the part of Hamas and subsequently the IDF, which has caused fear and injury and damage to areas of Israel and Gaza, as well as loss of life. We are deeply concerned about the resulting emotional impact, physical injuries, and deaths that will continue to mount as violence continues to escalate. As our colleagues in peace building in the region believe, there is no military solution to this conflict. One act of violence evokes another, and from the cycle of violence, no one benefits, as we are seeing with each passing day.
The Israeli government has a responsibility to stop settlers and extremists from taking over the land and allow those who live in East Jerusalem to rightfully live there in peace. The ongoing actions jeopardize the tenuous situation between Israelis and Palestinians. As Muslim and Jewish women of faith who are members of the Sisterhood of Salam Shalom, we have a responsibility to rise up and respond to injustice and prejudice. The situation that is taking place in the holy city of Jerusalem is kindling the flames of hate, injustice, and violence.
We ask our Jewish and Muslim sisters to stand up against oppression, human rights violations, and extremism. We ask our sisters to stand up for freedom, dignity, and equality for all people living in Israel and the Palestinian territories. Please reach out to your elected leaders and let them know that we will not stand for injustice, no matter who instigates it and no matter where it occurs. We ask all public officials in Israel and the United States to end overly aggressive policing, to commit to the equalizing Israeli law, to give the same rights to Palestinians as have been given to the Israelis, to live in their own homes without threat of eviction, and to commit to nonviolent means of achieving peace.
That was the end of the statement. The main tenet of the Sisterhood of Salam Shalom is that we see the world through each other's eyes, and that we listen and we think with our hearts. By doing such, we open our hearts, and right now, our hearts are breaking.
Our prayer is that in the near future, no child, Palestinian or Israeli, should have to live in fear. No parent should have to worry about their child's safety. Then our hearts will be repaired. Thank you. Salam.